high-speed pursuit ends violently when a suspect's pickup is crushed by a cement truck.
All I was thinking was, please make it through the intersection. And before I knew it, there was a collision. The cement truck collided with the truck.
3132 is a collision.
March 16, 2012, DeSoto, Texas. Officer Stephen Bohr of the DeSoto Police Department is patrolling in the early morning hours when a burglary report of a stolen air compressor comes from dispatch.
We received the call as the burglary in progress call, and I was right around the corner from it. And a dark Ford F-150 pulled out in front of me and was coming from an alleyway. And as I got closer, I noticed that there was a red air compressor, and this was all in the bed of the truck. I knew that this was most likely the suspect. Right when I initiated my lights, he pulled to the left into a turn lane and made a very slow U-turn. He was looking at me the entire time. I was making a slow approach, hoping that my backup would be there pretty quickly.
But backup hasn't arrived. Officer Bohr is on his own. As he approaches the truck, the suspect opens his door.
Shut your door! Turn off the car!
When I asked him for his license, he told me he doesn't have one. And then he started reaching and digging inside the center console. So I asked him why he's digging, because he told me he didn't have a driver's license. He looked up at me and he shook his head and then started reaching back in the center console.
The situation is intensifying, and Officer Bohr is still without backup.
He's not listening to what I'm saying. He's acting very nervous. At this point, I'm thinking he's trying to find a weapon in there. I had no idea what he was doing. So I felt that at that time it was safer for me to try to get him out of the vehicle.
The suspect gets out of the truck and at first seems to be following the officer's commands.
Basically, I was trying to conduct my pat down. I was hoping that my backup would be there. And then he reached back in the truck with his left hand. All I could do at that point was grab him and try to pull him away from the truck.
Officer Bohr is able to wrestle the suspect away from the cab, but realizes he's no match for the larger man.
He was probably about 6 foot, 240 to 250. I'm 5'9", I weigh 160 pounds. When I pull him away from the vehicle, he was just trying to throw his weight. He wasn't really trying to fight with me. He was just trying to pull away from me. He kept trying to turn and throw his weight, trying to get back to the truck. I kept pulling him back.
The struggle takes a dangerous turn.
He reaches for my taser, and he grabs a hold of my taser. And I try to throw my weight down so it throws him off balance so he couldn't get a good grip of the taser. And when I do this is when he reaches across and grabs a hold of my weapon, my firearm. That's just all I could do at that time to keep him from getting my weapon out.
The suspect jumps back in his cab and Officer Bohr tases him.
When I deployed my taser, I hit him with one probe. The other probe hit the door and bounced up. I didn't make contact with him. I reached in to try to grab him, to try to pull him back out of the vehicle. And when I did, I must have grabbed the probe or wrapped my hands around the wires when I did that.
The live wire shocks the officer and gives the suspect enough time to close the door.
I moved towards the back of the vehicle. I continued to give orders for him to put his hands up, let me see his hands, step out of the vehicle. He would not comply. And then he put it in gear, the vehicle rolled back, and then that's when the subject took off.
Speeding in excess of 90 miles per hour, the truck blows through several red lights.
We were very lucky that it happened so early in the morning. There was not very many vehicles on the road.
But the suspect's luck is about to run out. As the truck races toward another red light, Officer Bohr sees a cement truck driving toward the intersection.
It was happening very fast, but at the same time it was in slow motion. I could see the cement truck coming. It was traveling eastbound, and the suspect vehicle was traveling southbound. All I was thinking was, please make it through the intersection. And before I knew it, there was a collision, the cement truck.
3132 is a collision.
watch again as the cement truck barrels through the intersection and sideswipes the fleeing pickup. The force of the collision flips the cement truck on its side and demolishes the pickup.
The suspect's truck was actually completely smashed on the passenger side. It looked like half the truck was left.
The suspect is still alive. You can see his shadow here as he gets out of the truck, but he only gets a few feet before he collapses.
When I approached the suspect, he was pretty badly injured. I was hoping that there was something I could do for him, but there was nothing I could do for him at that point, except wait for the paramedics to respond.
Within minutes, paramedics arrive, and the cement truck driver and suspect are both rushed to the hospital. The truck driver is treated for minor injuries. The suspect is pronounced dead on arrival. When Officer Bohr watches the dashcam video, he sees how quickly the situation escalated.
When I watch the video now, I just realize how scary the situation was and how bad it could have gotten. It was almost like I was watching a show on TV and it was happening right in front of me. I was hoping I could find the rewind button to let the truck get through the intersection.